India's 75th Independence Day celebration. I have lived all my life in India. I moved to United States 3.5 years ago. And I have seen, because my family has been in the business and industry for almost now 100 years. So I've seen how Indian businesses, economy has grown. And we want to make this as an interactive session. So let's talk about, because this is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, let's talk about why India is on a growth trajectory. What is working for India? Why India is today one of the fastest growing big economy. And I'm sure Dr. Vijay and GSA team would then set up Azadi Ka Shatabdi Mahotsav and Mustafa Bhai. Azadi Ka Shatabdi Mahotsav. So we start with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and we are going towards Azadi Ka Shatabdi Mahotsav. And then you look at 2025, 25 years after this, it will be 2047. What do you see India as? So let's talk about two things. One is, why do you think India is so strong and growing? And where do you see India in next 25 years?
From a demographic perspective, I think having spent a lot of time working on young people's issues, I think one of the biggest advantage we have is of the Gen Z. I think the amount of young people that are being skilled every day is unprecedented. I think the fact that we have a skilling initiative by the Prime Minister, and having spent some time working with many youth organizations and also formed youth organizations. I don't know this, so we actually formed 5 years of organization called Youth 2047. So, and the whole idea was to really invest in young girls, young men's skills, so that we prepare for the fourth industrial revolution. But I think where India really is that, our attention that is really being paid at primary, secondary, and higher studies is unprecedented. One initiative that I'm working on right now is to train about 10 million young people on metaverse. Speaking to Tom this morning, that we're investing before this whole metaverse kind of unfolds in the next 4 years. We really, and this is really the vision of the Prime Minister. And he said, we need to get these kids skilled so that they can become the entrepreneurs of these initiatives and those jobs that we don't know there. Honestly, I need to understand metaverse better. So I think one of my takeaways is that where India sits, and that Generation Z, who's 10 years old right now, right? They're 8 years old, they're 12 years old. So 25 years from now, they will be 25. And so I visualize that India will lead the metaverse startup completely the race. Second, I think I also feel strongly based our work on sustainability. I think the amount of consciousness that is being created. For example, one of the initiatives in Bangalore, where we train middle school students on understanding and really internalizing what sustainability means and preparing these kids to look at social innovation and social entrepreneurship. We're meeting in 2 weeks again at Hackathon in Berkeley. And this is the first program that Berkeley is doing with India or any other country, bringing together kids who are a middle and a high school and preparing them to look at social entrepreneurship and social innovation. So I'm very, very excited. I think the futuristic sense, the energy, I don't want to be negative, but there's also a lot of backlash in China. So India really steps in a very, very big way. I think the investment in skill, the education, the scientific training,
Okay, great. Okay, great. I want to thank you so much for sharing your leadership today. What are the factors that is propelling India's growth? Some of the factors that I see, because I lived in India and I have an office and a very big business in India. One is the woman empowerment. Today's India's girls and women have an enormous amount of confidence, leadership, they get the support, they are independent and they want to contribute something, they want to create something. So many women entrepreneurs are coming, a lot of corporate CEOs are women. I think a 50% of India's population, which maybe around 25-30 years ago were not part of the workforce, are actively engaged. Second, I think, is the technology. India today, you can say, is the #1 country in technology adoption. Have you been to India, anybody recently? All of you, many of you. So now, even the bhajiwala, the vegetable vendor, is accepting payment by GPay. So electronic payment, which was the forte of elite few, is now accessible to everyone. And third major important factor is India traditionally was a very risk-averse society. The only thing most Indians will do with their money is put in the bank, put in a secure facility where the money has any risk, does not have any risk. But today, India's angel funding, we do angel funding and venture funding. Today's India's angel funding and venture funding is, I probably would beat even Silicon Valley. People are throwing money. There's one young guy in Borivali, I'm from Mumbai. He just set up one idea and said, he was running a coaching class. He said, I'll do a coaching class online. And he got a valuation of 100 crore. How much money is he making? 700,000 Indian rupees a month. And the company's value 100 crore. What is the business model? Offer coaching online. I told the person who was the lead investor, I said, these coaching classes online, everybody is doing on YouTube, all free. Why would this company become successful? He said, there are thousands of companies like that. People are flush with funds. You come up with an idea. That is much. My father has been in the business of money lending and finance for almost 50 years. And I remember earlier when we used to give money, we'll say, okay, give us the security. What is the guarantee for the money? Now people are taking risk. So that is, I think, the three factors: the woman, the people, the ability to take risk, and the technology that really are, and technology everywhere. Everything in India is now filed online. For GST, one form, IT, one form, it's all online. Where do I see India in 2047? I clearly see that India would be the #1 nation on the planet. How I see it is our companies. So far, our talent, Indian talent, was used to grow companies outside India. The CEO of Google is an Indian, the CEO of Microsoft is an Indian, CEO of several big companies is an Indian. Somebody who got trained in India but worked here. I see that by 2047, some of the largest global companies would be Indian companies. We will have a large percentage of Indian population in cities. There will be planned cities, there will be major growth and a lot of smart cities. If you have you been to Gandhinagar, anybody? You've been to Gandhinagar? You look at the city, you would not find the city like Gandhinagar anywhere in the world. The road, the system, the traffic management. So that's where I see India would be #1 in terms of its democratic institution, education, innovation, entrepreneurship, and the quality of life. So that's where I see that the future of India. Why don't you just share what are the trends that you see are fueling India's growth and where you see India?
I would say, the fourth industrial revolution is definitely here, and it's
Next time, don't decide.
and it is being led by data, how we analyze data, how we act upon data. Data is in just about every vertical that you can imagine. I work for Fluid Technologies. I know my company is actively investing in Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, these areas. They're putting fiber optics there. So there's more diversity than just the telecom providers that are local. Even from a software perspective, as you were saying, Indian people are at the forefront of just about every innovative technology that you can think of, whether it's from a software perspective, from a hardware perspective, and going up to what you were saying about the youth, they are definitely leading that. I would say that cadence. And India, the market itself is an untapped market. And I believe that, you have a lot of people wanting to do business there, so kind of have branch offices there, have presence there. And eventually, like you were saying, there could be a chance where it can be a smart city, or our schools can be a smart campus. Which, there's cities like Shanghai that absolutely. And that goes with the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution. About 2 years ago, the cadence was to go to the office and work. Now just about everybody can work remotely. And a lot of that started in India. My entire company's tech support, and not just my company, but I can tell you all of the Fortune 100, 150 companies' tech support is sitting in India. Their not support is sitting in India. So why can't we start that from there? Why can't we start growing from there, scaling from there? So to your point, technology in India is growing, and it's at a pace where within the next 5 to 10 years, it will be at a point where I can see, like, my company's an American company. We are trying to get there into the presence, into the businesses there, into the into the infrastructure there, because it's so valuable. There's millions of people, billions of people, and that's billions of data. That data needs to be hosted, secured, protected, transmitted. So that's the trend that I see, and I think we can definitely help, in that journey, in that technology journey.
Right, we produce our own thing, we grow our own food, we're not dependent on China for any supply chain issues. Last 1 year, the global stock market all around the world, Europe, United States, has gone down by 25%, India only 1%, because almost 0.5 to 1%, because India's economy now is not dependent on world. It is self-sufficient. We're able to grow things on our own. So you're right. Everybody will then like to sell to India because we got people with money and a self-sufficient economy. Thanks.
But I think a very strong, like you said, where they come from. I think they're very, very diverse people. Diversity in culture, religion, language, all that is fine. Also in terms of how we live our lives. When we're young, we are top competition. We're preparing for the IITs, we're preparing for the IIMs, we're working, we're living in joint families, we're seeing all kinds of people, all kinds of land, and I think that is what makes us very strong as people. That is what brings a lot of value in our system chain and helps us move forward. And I think that is why Indians have been so, they have been able to go anywhere in the world and say, now let me say you will drive me. So it's pretty much like that. I think the strength comes from there. And also, children today, a lot of research also says that children today, everywhere in the world, not just in India, but they're very, very, their spiritual quotients are really high. I think they are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, and I think they are going to be the ones who will bring that complete shift. So yes, I do see their superpower, and I hope that will be true.
Yeah, why don't you share? Let everybody share.
It's not just a country being independent, it's way more than what you think, how you are independent in your mind. And lately I could see people are more open-minded, and even how the women are coming forward. It's all because as a whole the world is letting women go forward and do things that are more acceptable. And of course spiritually, and India has always been culturally strong. Until now we can see that. We have not been seeing what we had in our culture and what a beauty we had in our science, Indian traditions. People to see that and what can recognize it, and that's been awesome. And how India is going to grow future, I would say I don't want to put it in a word that it will grow till this or that, because we are open minded. We should let it go as much as we can. So that's what I say.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
I can say, like any group or any success, the leader is important. So our Prime Minister is the leader. So because of that, his idea is hardworking and is supporting each and everyone. That's why India is growing. This is the main thing for growing our India. Thank you.
Yeah. મુસે ભાઈ તમે કયો ને ત્યારે તમારા વિચાર રજૂ કરો 2 મિનિટ.
I think from a different perspective, being American, we are the world here. There is no more India and the United States. We're one. And if we accept that, then all the things we're talking about, because the troubles and the things we face here, face in India, the successes we have here, have in India, the difficulties of equality with women working in the world and bringing to the world what they have to offer at a lesser degree because of what we were brought up with is a problem here, and it's a problem in India. The successes around the world are going to be based, as my good friend said, on the next generations, not us. What we have to do, and all given respect to intelligence and media and globalization of all the networks, what we have to do is bring back the human element. And if we teach the next 2 generations about faith, family, and respect and understanding, then the great entrepreneurs will grow knowing they have an obligation to give back. That's the key. I've been in the money business many years. One thing I learned, the money doesn't matter. The success is what you leave, what your legacy is, and how you feel in your heart when everything is said and done. Because we created goodness and we created hatred. And in the free countries of the world that we live in, we have sometimes too much freedom. Because we have the freedom to hate. We have the freedom to divide. And with all the new technology, every word that comes out of your mouth is misconstrued somewhere. All the movies you see have different messages trying to attract different people, but not telling the story of what's really in our hearts. So all I can offer is that I believe that as we come together, stop identifying ourselves as individuals. We're one global community. There's atrocities in the world. We have to come together to make them disappear. There's technology in the world. We have to be together to make it work. Just like we did with COVID, it became a global problem. We came with global solutions. We have to do that with our youth. We have to show them the energy that we entrepreneurs.
Actually, what you're saying is been practiced in India for our family. We have a Sanskrit saying, thousands of years old, which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire earth is one family.
And the most important point, if I may, is not about what's in our hearts and what we wish would happen. Wishing is not a strategy. What we need to do is act upon it. We need to do something about it. And we can't have a culture that's rich and poor. We have to have a culture where people can live a good life. Not taking away from entrepreneurs that make lots of money. Not taking away from people that work hard every day, be it a farmer, be it a worker in one of your factories, etc. They deserve to have a good life because the next generation is their kids. And they can't learn from somebody that's mistreated or underpaid. So I feel that once we bring it to the table, India has always had a big heart. It has great faith. So does much of the United States. So do other countries in the world. That's what we need to focus on. That's going to make the difference.
Thank you very much. Responsibility, decency, courtesy, and a sense of unity. He takes everybody along. India's leader's motto is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
We have one example, like Dr. Vijay. He had everybody have a dream, and it depend on the leader. How the leader is proceed. That's the main thing.
That is true. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's a great celebrating time, what you have said. And also I would like to go back to where we started with sustainability. I'm not certified in Six Sigma. People who are in manufacturing, you know, the Six Sigma is invented to make the wastage, cut down and cost efficiency, and so on and so forth. Once you improve a process, you have to sustain. You know, we are talking about all these things, but if you do not sustain, you don't have a plan to sustain, again you are going to the point one. Okay? Then, going back to having a right leader. The leader, what were his roots? Where did he come from? What are the situations led him as a leader? Recently, I'm a world traveler, and whenever I go, I try to inspire you. That is my thing. So, my passion. There are two passions. One, women empowerment, building the youth leadership. Ever since I was 10 years old, I have been doing this in my own way. This time I traveled extensively in India to promote GSA, India 75 Expo. Every place I see, I have seen the youth. Youth are doing great. They are trained in specific skill sets, but there is a great inertia in every youth that I've seen. One thing, they are not having a purposeful goal in life. The goal is to earn money. Goal is to earn money. Goal is to earn money. What you are doing, is it purposeful, impactful? What are you leaving for your next future? Going back, any country, any generation, any future is not strong if you do not have values. Value-based education is so important. That's what made our Narendra Modi as a great leader of the entire world. Looking up to him. Another thing, when you become successful, you go on top of them. We are so proud of Indian origin people, are CEOs of great companies. Are they leaders or just the CEOs? A leader is the one, in my opinion, I also want Narendra Modi as our Prime Minister, showing an example to the world. Leader doesn't walk by himself. Leader doesn't walk in front of people. Leader takes everybody along with him, along with her. As we mentioned, Sabka Saath,
Sabka Vikas.
Sabka Vikas. So you cannot do it alone. And there are a lot of parallels between India and the United States. I love India as my mother country. and allow as my father nation. And there are so many things comparing Indian youth, Indian diaspora, and American youth here. They are all running for something, like looking for the water in the desert. So you will see the mirage and you will think that is water. Until you get there, you don't know. That's all just imagination. To find the reality, we need to cultivate the values in youth when they are very young. Their minds are like sponges. Whatever we put in there, that it is so like sponges. That's why people like Swami Vivekananda, Chinmayananda, and all that, they said, catch the young that they can grasp the knowledge. So they are not, their minds and their hearts are not corrupted with the outside colors. Once the foundation is there, and India will be stronger than ever. It has been for thousands of years, but at the century, when in 2047, it will be the world leader taking everybody with her as an example, not just leading somebody behind. That's what our culture is, our roots are.
I agree. What you're saying is so accurate.
Yeah.
India will inspire these things about the world. United States is willing to accept it. I think almost 65% of US population practices yoga, which is actually an Indian Hindu system for health and well-being. But the United States is open and says, okay, it's a great thing, it helps us, take it. So similarly, whatever the values India has for the world, that will become more and more acceptable, and people of the world will benefit. Thank you so much.
I just want to leave it on young and start instilling those values. Whenever you get there, even if you interact with one child, one woman, and that you never know, that may become like a banyan tree, which will be giving so much shelter for so many people. So value-based education, value-driven leadership are the few, they will sustain the future of India, and so to the, that is the contribution of India to the world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
The panel has covered pretty much all the important areas. So just to conclude, I think the recent McKinsey study, they said India has 20% of the world workforce. So it has the largest. So I think that is going to create a lot of opportunities for the global family that I think Tom and other panel analysts have mentioned. I think you referred to Lord the definition of a super Kutumbakam. So I think with the youngest population, they can contribute that dream that we are all talking about, the one family. And besides that, India has a very rich cultural and heritage platform that it can help build around the globe. And I do see many sessions for yoga, meditation, and some other relevant sessions that I think we can contribute at the global platform level. And I think India can also help bringing the peace at the world level. I think India is being known, and I think I know Shri Ravi Shankar and many other, I think our PM and many other leaders, they can, I think, play a very important role in making it a great place, in by 2047. Thank you so much.
India and India's place in the world in next 25 years. GSA our team has worked very hard to set up this curtain raiser event, and we really celebrate freedom, independence. All of us, we have experienced and tasted the fruit of freedom, and that freedom to India has not come easily. Lots of people laid down their lives, and unlike many places in the world, India has won its freedom and maintained its freedom through non-violence and truth. What Gandhiji said, ahimsa and satya. So this 75 years has been an incredible success story, and it is right to celebrate this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and especially the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav we are celebrating here in United States, which also gives such an enormous importance to freedom and individual independence. So all the team members who work towards, and all the panelists, what you shared, the ideas are so accurate. The youth of India, the technology of India, the woman of India, the value-based education, the inclusivity of India, these are all the growth factors. And the most important, the leader of India, who is the most popular leader in the world. He personifies the values of our great culture. So we are sure India would be a great superpower, and it will lead the world by giving guidance on spirituality, yoga, meditation, and timeless heritage that we have to offer to the world. Thank you so much, everybody. We thank all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Would you like to speak on anything specific?
Anything specific?
Thank you.
What is involved, and what I probably want to take over, is how in next 2 months this interconnection, interdependence will get out. Everyone present.
I need a group picture for a newspaper. So when they finish.
Okay.
The expo at 75. This is not
Don't go away.
that
Yeah.
we come from a taproot system, not
Just
a
leave it over
fibrous
there.
system.
Okay, 1 minute. I just want to put this.
Has deepest roots, and every branch of the tree knows for the fruit to survive, it has to take care of the roots. We have learned we're also resilient. If you're in a desert, we'll be a cactus. If you're in a swamp, we'll become the lotus. So Indians, our culture has supported that growth for us, and our values have helped us thrive in.
You want to take a picture sitting down or standing?
We're already used to being inclusive and agree to disagree in our country when we're growing up. Unlike Americans who do not agree to disagree. You have to think like me. I find it a huge problem. I cannot live in many states in America because they don't agree to disagree. And I said, really, I'm an Indian. What do you expect me to do? You will have to learn to be like me. Or you cannot be part of my shining power that is going to take the world over. It is not about, we're also in a land in America which has opened its arms to great minds and anyone who has a brilliant idea and is survival of the fittest has and grown in America. That's the power of America. Whether you are from Lebanon, whether you're from India, whether you're from Korea, China, Sri Lanka, Africa, as long as you're great, America will accept you and give you, it will become the wind under your wings. And we've all experienced that and been successful. What is great about us is that we're willing to now give it back to where we come from. So we are a taproot system. But I would really like, and Tom, please take this over, is how we can contribute. Please share some ideas very briefly on next 2 months, how each of you can help and contribute to this expo. Do we have time for that? We must talk about it.
Since yesterday, I've had a week, and all through last night up until midnight, when people were still dancing, it was interesting. I didn't know anybody could dance for 2 hours in a row.
This one?
I got tired myself. But I think what we have to do, what all of you have to share your ideas about, is this is a great event. Every chair should be filled. Every event should be attended to. Because everyone has so much to share, and those that will be here again in December, that it's a shame that it just falls on so many years. I learned yesterday that, like every culture, everybody came for the fun last night. What do you have to do? The young people were here last night. The people that were celebrating were from little babies to older seniors. With that said, so much to share in the next 2 months. I think from each individual, a great idea should come forward to reach the people. Reach the people, the Indian American people, so that they understand what a great kind of event and gathering this should be. Also, reach out to other people. I don't know anybody I know that wouldn't have benefited. Even this morning, we did a little session to relax. It was nice. Never did it before. It worked. I drew a picture of a beach, and then I knew I had to stay here. So. All the goodness went away in a minute. Technology, humanity, the caring of people, the children who are most important to us, Generation Z, Generation X, millennials, are distracted by what's around them. So we have to find out how to get what's around them and be included in that. That's where I think it's going to come from. There is no solution. Good marketing, good television, good advertising only goes so far.
Yeah.
But people are like a domino, and each person you can impact as to the importance of what's going to happen and the fun of what's going to happen. I think if you can impact one person, let that domino begin to tip. And before you know it, you'll have a snowball that's coming down the hill like an avalanche. The greatest thing that could happen for Dr. BJ and all the people involved who've worked so hard is what? Have people here. So I think that's what we'll go around a little bit. And each person can talk a little bit, just for a minute, about an idea you might have of how to fill the room again and how to bring that excitement to people. Because every walk of life is represented. It isn't as though entertainment or engineering or science or money or whatever it may be. There's somebody interested in all of it. It's all been here yesterday and today. I'm sure tonight will be another great celebration. The celebration should be where people can't get in. That's what the target should be. And it's not up to Dr. BJ. His vision creates. It's everybody here who believes how it's going to expand. So let's just take each one of us, share an idea, don't be bashful, no idea is bad, and then take that idea home and do something about it. Because ideas, again, are not a strategy. Ideas need to be pushed into action. So let's start out with my good friend who relaxed with me this morning.
There's a mic there, another mic.
I put it there. Ravi, you ask a little.
How many of you are on social media?
If we are not, we will be sitting here.
Don't introduce social media.
Still the event we
No, it's
should
very important for what we're going to do in December. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's very, very important. So my name is Ravi Kakra, and I was given the honor 5 years ago by GSA as a champion of sustainability. And since then, I've been working with Dr. Vijay and many other amazing people who are like I spent about 2 decades working on sustainability, and it's been a passion to really look at exactly what you said, that we do not exist if we don't coexist with one another. So it's been an area I've worked on issues of intergenerational issues, working with children, young people, women, and also with the elderly. Spend time working in the human system, multilateral system, and now I'm going to work on social entrepreneurship. Very quickly, I just went across the world from all the way Australia to including Vancouver, which that covers extensively. I think the reason I'm really here is because when Dr. Vijay calls you, you're like, he's going to take up something which is extremely new. Second reason I'm here is because it's India 75, defining, as I said, India at 2047. So 5 years ago, like I said, we established this organization in India, which is to actually look at 2047 from the people's perspective. There are 3 things which I think we can do. One, that you can use your professional networks, which is really look at whoever you are. There's no way, there's no profession that cannot be linked to India 75. Whether it's from a cultural perspective, economic, social, political, and from a citizen's perspective. Right? And we are in a very interesting situation because we live in the US, but we also live in our own land, which is our soul also lives in our India. So really connect. I would do a very practical thing. Reach out 5 or 10 people you know and make sure they come here. Okay? You have to just do everything else. Really, I was speaking to especially yesterday, it's been a fantastic discussion that we have in the States. Right? We had the Council General yesterday to ensure that people will get their visas. And also another important reality is that people haven't traveled for 3 years. So people have money, people want to come. Chicago in December will not be the beach. Unless we create something. But people will come because people already. So I have done a very practical thing. The second thing is your professional networks. So I have reached out to some CEOs across India who I know personally. I've also been recommended them for some awards. So I'm very believe after their life and they're committed that they will come. Because people also want to really celebrate. The interesting thing I can say is that we used to have this Howard India conference, right? And then you have the India Store conference in San Francisco. But this is the only conference, like somebody said yesterday, I don't know if Dr. Vijay said, that this is the only conference in the US which is celebrating India at 75 and drawing up a roadmap for India 2047. If we are not going to celebrate this personally and professionally, I don't think we should be sitting here. I should actually pack my bag to go. So I have reached out practically to 15 people who are influencers and very, at an interesting level, who are committed to come. Now the third thing is social media. I will not write it off just because I don't like it. I am a very strong believer in Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm not a Facebook person, although I have to do some work on that, so I continue to go there. Whatever social media you use, if you're here not retweeting each other, not tagging each other, not creating a buzz, nobody else will do it for you. Right? In fact, this morning, Pink retweeted one of our tweets from last night, and she has 27 million followers.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, I'm obsessed with Twitter. I also run a company which does social media strategies. We have an office working there. But I would really say that we really need to do, and that's one gap which I feel that yes, Globalize is very strong on Facebook, but the corporate leaders, decision makers are very much staying on Twitter. The celebrities, the 2 amazing media influencers in India, they're very much on Insta and Face. So we really need to optimize, and I've been saying it, crying for it. And this is what I can offer, and I've offered this to Dr. Vijay. If we can create a task force, I'm happy to coordinate a task force and deliver one of the most amazing outreach. Whether it's dealing with a WhatsApp, we are obsessed with something with WhatsApp. I don't know. We're like obsessed. There should be some study on it. But we're obsessed. I think also to create some kind of these groups which should really bring people together. So those are 3 practical things. Get 10 people you know in US and 10 people you know in India. In other family also, the family reunion can be here. Nothing like that. The second thing is get at least 10 professional I'm getting some big time CEOs, I can't read their names, starting the organizers now. Bring them here, some celebrities. We got Ricky Cage, the 2-time Grammy Award winner. He's confirmed to keep in December. I've also offered a few others which I have to speak to the organizers, which I can push. And if I push, it will be difficult for them to say no. And third is really that we need to really take our social media. And also, I like your point, Tom, that we need more Toms. We can have Indians talking about India at 75.
I know, and your back,
This is, India's great, everything's when we're talking to each other. We don't want to become another China that we feel, I don't want us to at 100 become a China syndrome. The China went on this crazy thing that we are the best right now. Xi Jinping is in house arrest. And I had predicted this 3 months ago in a Twitter space that this is happening. So, yes, India is great, everything is great, but please, we want this to be exactly what Tom said and what you said, intention. It has to be a really global conversation. We want other cultures, other people to come and really, learn from them and also share what we have. When I came to India, which was US, I was beaten up on New York right after 9/11, thinking that I was one of the attackers because of the color of my skin. It's really happened. It's not a joke. It did happen. Okay? And then they said, "Oh, you're the wrong nationality." So you can imagine, from there, 20 years now, I'm part of many boards. I'm chairing some boards. I do face discrimination even today. But, they know that we're dealing with Indians. That has totally changed. Many of you are seniors. Many of you have much more experience. But that is the right we must, and sustaining it is very important. We cannot be complacent or arrogant about it. One of the traits of us has been that we need to be humble. And unity is core to our value system, and that must carry forward. So 3 practical things, Tom, over to this gentleman.
I think, thank you. Makes sense. GSA. And so we have to reach out. If you had a multicultural event and it was centered around this, people can share and everybody's vision of everybody else changes. So I think that's a great point. I think social media is the savior and the devil at the same time.
Yeah, true. Right.
So what we have to do is try to be more of a savior.
Absolutely.
The devil will take care of himself. And we do that by creating energy. Give us
Here to join panel specifically to talk to the youth about following their dreams. And I think what we can really do is present GSA the Expo as a networking event, or actually as an event where we can present opportunities to the youth, as like a job or career opportunities. A lot of the youth are coming here to see we are all experts, we all have resources. We can pull together and show them the different verticals or the different career options that they have. Maybe, where they are as youth, they have the ability to really explore and see it from a traditional perspective and understanding all the different options that they have. I think that would make a difference. We just can't limit it to word of mouth. Social media does need to be leveraged. LinkedIn is a great tool. Nowadays, tools like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If we were to make a video that would be appealing to the youth, even on TikTok for GSA, that would increase, the youth to come. And I really think anything we're retweeting us, we do have the ability to be appealing to the youth. And
Zach mentioned 2 or 3 things that you would do specifically.
honestly, I would say, me myself, I have the ability to, start having this, sessions with youth, being able to talk about how we can do further enablement in their career. I think just meeting once is not enough to have meetings to actually be able to find, you were talking about 10 people to invite. I think we should find 5 or 10 youth that we can start growing and have them be able to come here to speak to them, introducing them. I think a soft conversation, a referral goes a long way.
I think, if I may,
yes.
I agree thought.
Yes.
I think the youth should.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
The older youth, not the youth up here, the older youth.
Yes.
And maybe we can, not by December. I think that should be one of our goals, is to make sure that we should have youth out here as well speaking, because they can. They have the ability to do it. They just need to know that this is a platform where their voice will be heard.
And I think that in that vein, you can make progress. What you want is some leaders that they want to lead, that are young people.
Sure.
And those are the people that you bring, those those are the people that they have the responsibility to help fill seats because they'll listen to each other. I mean, all you young people up here, it's amazing, but how many of you have kids? Right? They all listen to you?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay, like what are you really tough or what?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, I will give you
It doesn't mean they're
tips.
listening to you, okay? Okay, I appreciate that and action. So we have to take a step. Let's get some more ideas while we're here.
You guys have passed on this.
Yeah. No, you have to.
You can be asked as long as you have ideas. We're going to hold the field.
So create FOMO, fear of missing out.
I love that. Very good.
So act, laser focus action. Don't be the raita. Find 10 people and make sure you galvanize those 10. Let those 10 galvanize the other 10. But create fear of missing out. We have the power to bring those influencers here who matter to the crowd. My second request is, how do we make it not just a Chicago event? It's an inclusive United States event. It's an inclusive all culture event. So having performers or influencers or celebrities from all race and culture would really, even Indians need to understand and be part of. We cannot just celebrate 20,000 of our own festivals. We have to be inclusive, and that's the only way to go to the 100th celebration in 2047 is by being inclusive. So whether it's a product, whether it's your clientele, whether it's something new, an idea you have created that can impact, it has to impact everybody. And my third request would be, whatever activity we do to bring these 10 people here, we have to curate them, create in their mind how they can also benefit from this. So you have to master that art. And not just say, be here because I'm here, because this is there, and don't be a random this and that conversation. Please curate, find those 10 people, you do a little effort of writing a very specific focused task and a give and take pitch to them. And please repeat that pitch till they agree to come. And that 10 should be the number. 10 is a good number, affordable time to spend on it. And I promise to do that on my behalf and bring those 10. I'm also curating the film sector with Selva. Selva is an upcoming struggling producer like me. And I made a curated pitch and I brought him here on the stage. He said, now how do you take advantage of this? You know, I passed on the baton and some tips to him. So please pass on those tips based on the experience what we've had in last 24 hours. That is very impactful and helpful. I had a third point, which I have completely forgotten.
You can bring it back.
I didn't practice too much. Oh yes, anything you are doing yourself personally, contributing to GSA, please make sure there is an intent impact. If there is an intent to it. Let's not just do it for media, for likes and dislikes and, for personal hoo-ha.
Yes.
What is the intent? What is the impact? Define it and do it with that definition.
Right.
Thank you, and I think you made a great point and brought something to mind. I think that as a group sits here and comes with ideas, there's got to be a way somebody has to take the lead that this group communicates. Because everything you say today, we have to monitor. We have to make sure it's happening. So that if it's not, we can choose a different direction. So somebody before we leave today, not myself, will volunteer to kind of take this as a group and try to put some of these things, and on a regular basis every couple of months or so, see what's happening, see if there's progress in what we hear.
I really think that there should be, if there is a group of mobilizers, we really have to
keep people involved.
Yeah, because we have a very clear target. Let's deliver. Because that itself will be very, very big thing. I think we can do it.
Right.
I'm very optimistic. I'm always happy. So let's just do it.
So just to not to lose my thought when you are saying that, we have a community connect outreach right now going on. So we should just join them instead of creating other one, and we should have weekly active conversation, and we should be like, we should tell who we are, even though people know, but we think people know, a lot of people don't, unfortunately, and that awareness we need to create. Second, we need to specifically address the goal, like this is the area you are going to cover, and you are going to use that as youth engagement, and you are talking about movies and all that stuff. And I can bring my leadership and women empowerment element to it. So we will each week we will specifically target one area and bring those audience. You know, we all will bring those audience, and the sessions should be full. Every week we should have at least 50 people. You know, I don't think that is impossible. That's very practically done. So,
you want to share anything?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't want to just time out for you.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm just trying to say, if you make a WhatsApp group, please involve me. The reason, let me explain you. Because if somebody can write a very good article, we can make a lot of bandwagon. It's going to go in everybody's ear, loud and clear. And whatever you guys give it to me, just gonna, you guys know, we just make it happen. And we are so fast. Yesterday's event, we published 1001 picture already. It's done. Blast. And also, the highlight video for Garba is also gone. So, whatever you give, our team work very, very, very hard and make this thing happen. So please, I want everybody to do something and write a very good article. Whatever you guys discuss, whatever you guys decide, and make sure once the article, एक बार बंदूक में से गोली निकल जाती है तो निकल जाती है. You cannot put it back again. Because so many times people come back to me and say, oh, change this thing, change this. No. It's gone, it's gone.
So each to go back.
So that's what, whenever you get chance, no rush.
We will definitely use your ideas. Sudhishji, you do a great job spreading them around and creating the awareness, and we'll definitely do that. But going back to the Zoom sessions, the third thing, I said the specific thing need to be discussed in every Zoom session. The third is, in any business or any political campaign or any campaign, we have to ask what we really need from the audience. That, for them to participate, for them to be part of, for them to be partners. So this needs to be very specific. It needs to touch their heart. It needs to become their personal, goal for them to be here. They want to be here, like fear of missing opportunity. So then we need to make them feel very important, and their presence is needed in every aspect of the expo. So we have a great visionary, and we have the energy to make that happen for Dr. VGP and for all of us. It's not just for Dr. VGP, it's all of our dream. So bring it together and make this is a one and only event. That only can happen when we build upon this momentum. We should not just go and rest tomorrow. Each one of us do that. So we can have a sign-in sheet because all of our numbers are there, contact information. But with this form, we will be added to that community connect outreach, and we will take that platform and go from there instead of creating another one. Just that's all.
Do you want to share?
I just want to say I do a lot of events, like big events like India Fair and stage shows and everything. So as per my opinion, we need some attraction to bring the people here. That is number one. Number two, we need some kids programs. So can kids comes, then parents comes. So that is second thing. And third things, celebrity is very important, because I know that every event, the money is a lot of money involved. So sometimes we don't have a fund for celebrity. But celebrity is very, very important. But don't invite any celebrity who doesn't know people. Invite only any celebrity the people know. Then people can come to see her. or him. So that is also third things. So, and to make if we want the audience, so main things is advertising. Is the TV advertising, media like a TV Asia or whatever in Chicago, there is a TV, you do must TV advertise, newspaper advertising.
All over America.
No, all over America is a secondary, but especially in Chicago, you need that. And fourth things, there is a lot of adult care here. So just anybody, see, I'm in New York. If I'm here, I can do that all job. I don't mind to do that. If maybe I can chance to stay here 10 days early, I can come and stay and help them. There is no problem. But it is all expense. So I have to think about that too. So I'm telling you very clearly, I don't want to say anything if I am not able to do.
So what are you saying, adult care? What does it mean?
There is a lot of adult care. There is a lot of senior care. So that you can bring the people from there because
okay.
they have some kind of services. The bus and car they bring here, and then you can see the thousands of people here. So that way you can bring the people here. And the last, from India, you have to bring the store like India, some kind of India
jewelry,
anything like clothing and jewelry. But we had a conversation with her and Dr. Vijayji couple of times, but the price was like little. Sorry, can I say?
Please.
Yeah, okay. So price was like is a very high price because when somebody come from India, they have to spend ticket, they have to spend the hotel, they have to spend a lot of money. So if you put the higher price for the stall, it is very difficult to be they're gonna come. So we have to be like a certain amount they can afford, and when they come, they can at least make something, contacts or money or anything. So that is another thing to attract to people. The lot of stores from India, then people can come. So that is all the experience I'm telling. Thank you.
Makes sense if from other countries as well. And I don't know, just thinking out loud, somebody must have some good connections where you can make a group travel, where you can create, and I know the group here, which works as hard as they do, create reasonable for people to stay, for people to eat. And what that will do is when you're telling people, you want people to come, put it together so that you make it's not going to be affordable. The economy in the next several years is not going to improve dramatically. It's my profession.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the other thing which might make a lot of sense is you get sponsors to bring people. So if you have a good company and you have the connection with the CPO and the company itself, what you may want to do is ask that CEO, listen, we not only want you to come, but we want you to create an incentive within your company to bring 10 people. And let the families, let that be a bonus as part of the bonus for the success they had. Everybody likes the money first. They say, well, if you're going to take me to the United States, I'll just give you the money. But the reality is you create a different energy. And I think everybody has those kind of connections. And if you can go to a company and let the company sponsor people to come, it doesn't matter what their income level is, because the company will benefit, actually they very all, and then the people benefit. And that energy, then, if you know your company's paying for you to be here, then it may not be as expensive for your sister to come because you may want to share the price with her.
Right.
And it's okay. So I think it's something worth considering, and I totally agree with what you're saying, and we have to move the thing forward in every way we can.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Swapna Devlor and I'm very new to this stage actually, and I didn't know that I would talk about this, but I like spontaneity, so it's nice and it's pleasant. I do business other than winning Mrs. India Universe crown. I do business, I teach spiritual living, and I also started a production house. But other than all these things, what I have learned is the value you have an individual cannot top anything. So as a person, wherever I go, wherever I am in social media, wherever, people trust me, they believe me, they love me. I get so much love, I cannot tell. So so what I can give, and I do believe in giving that as much as I can. So what I can give is by my presence, by my words, or wherever I can definitely do a lot of advertising, because people do follow me, and till now I never had to go after someone to say anything or do anything. People do come after me. So I can use that and definitely do a good advertising.
It's appreciated. It's totally, yeah.
What about experience?
That's all. And we love you all here.
I do get a lot. He's the connector.
Yeah.
He's the one who brought most of the Atlanta influential people, and we really appreciate that. But you need to share the secret of bringing people together and making this expo a more successful event in December. You need to share.
We have to connect with all social media and community organization representative, as well as senior section group, kids activity, and mainly obesity, marketing. So that is very important to make a successful event. Volunteer is a very important part, so all volunteers and they have contributed. So this is my view.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think one more thing, as I watched last night, all the dignitaries were on stage and being thanked for the contributions. I was involved in a lot of charities where, in a typical charity event, the celebrity guests, they're paid for to come. I used to get upset because most of them had the most money, and they came as a celebrity, took the vows. It always troubled me that, why isn't somebody pushing that? So I would think a challenge might be to take the great people that were on stage and individually, if you talk to them, let them know what's going on and give them a little show. And ask them what they can do to help this event explode the way we want it to. Because it's one thing to get recognized and to be a supporter of any organization and have your name up in lights. But when you deliver, normally you don't want your name in lights. The people that will deliver don't want recognition. I live by the credo, when you believe, you're believed. We all believe. If you believe in what's happening here today, then they'll believe you when you talk about it. And if you don't have it in your heart and don't believe it firmly, it's going to be worse. And people just go through and walk away. So I think everybody knows, again, who you know, who's in corporate America, CEOs of companies, but dignitaries are only dignitaries because we call them that. I mean, if a dignitary sits in a room by herself or by himself, who are they? So I think we can push that button and say, okay, we appreciate it. All the people like Danny Davis and the others that are here. It's impressive. They need to be impressive in front of 2,000, 3,000 people. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
We have 5 minutes, so Selva, if you have anything, then we can have some closing.
Thank you so much for introducing this expo. For the GSA was on December, I think coordinating HR sessions under the especially in cinema. Like there are a lot of Indian and aspirants in the film industry. There are a lot of people at the I would like to share my journey international shareholders. It is not a joke. It does take a long time. So we would like to, condition them for a long journey. And I would also like to, focus on accountability. Today, I will talk about accountability and in the film industry also like today, diversity, inclusion, across races, across classes, across gender. So how exactly we promote that any English drawing inspiration from Holland? I would like to coordinate paper sessions across countries, including Expo. Appreciate sharing and
Isso esse roupa.
And with 2.5 minutes thank you.
And thank you to you too.
Thank you.
बहुत ही प्रैक्टिकल ज़रा कमें perfect
experience.
Let's move forward. Thank you.
Go
GSA Expo in December.
15, 16, 17.